What if a simple act of compassion could ignite outrage among the most respected leaders of your day? What if healing someone wasn't just a miracle, but a message that challenged the very rules people worshipped? What if the difference between following the law and following God could be seen in a single moment? On a quiet Sabbath morning, Jesus entered the synagogue, the place where people came to pray, study, and observe God's commandments. Among the congregation was a man whose hand was withered, useless, and painful, a visible reminder of human frailty. The room was silent, filled with expectation, devotion, and perhaps a touch of fear, for everyone knew the Sabbath was sacred and tradition was strict. Any violation could provoke scorn and punishment. Jesus' eyes fell on the man. He saw not just the withered hand, but the pain, the longing, the isolation. His heart recognized what the law sometimes overlooked: the human need, the soul's suffering, the divine opportunity to act with mercy. Across the room, the Pharisees watched closely, their minds already scheming. They questioned, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath? Their hearts were hardened, focused on rule-keeping, maintaining authority, and trapping Jesus in a moment of legal accusation. They could not see the greater truth. God's heart is mercy, and human need is sacred. Jesus knew their thoughts. He stepped forward, challenging not the man, but the misunderstanding that had twisted God's intention. With authority he spoke, "Stretch out your hand." The man obeyed. Instantly his hand was restored, whole and strong. Relief and joy flooded him, a miracle undeniable, yet even more powerful than the healing itself was the message it carried. Compassion over ritual, mercy over tradition, life over rules. The Pharisees' anger flared, their carefully constructed sense of control threatened. Their legalistic view demanded obedience, but Jesus demanded obedience to God's heart. He demonstrated that the Sabbath was never meant to hinder life. It was meant to protect, to nurture, to restore. Healing a person was never unlawful. It was the very essence of the day God had made. Consider the man with the withered hand. He had lived years of limitation, isolation, perhaps even shame. Today, a single word restored him, not only physically, but spiritually. The act affirmed that God values people above regulations, that divine love moves in freedom, and that mercy is the highest law. Jesus' teaching was subtle yet revolutionary. The Sabbath is not a day of restriction, but a day of life, a day to demonstrate God's goodness, a day to embody His love. Rules are not meaningless, but they exist to serve people, not trap them. Healing, helping, showing mercy, these are not violations, they are the heart of the law fulfilled. Imagine the scene through the eyes of the congregation. Some must have felt awe, inspired by the miraculous restoration. Others perhaps were fearful, uncomfortable, questioning authority and tradition. Yet in that moment, Jesus revealed the living God, a God who acts, who cares, and who honors human need above rigid ritual. This story challenges each of us today. How often do we prioritize rules over compassion? How often do we ignore someone's pain because tradition, fear, or judgment holds us back? The invitation of Jesus is timeless: to act with mercy, to value human life, and to let love guide our decisions above all else. Think about your own life. How many moments have you let rules, expectations, or fear prevent you from helping someone in need? How many opportunities for kindness, for restoration, for transformation have passed unnoticed because the legalistic voice of the world silenced the compassionate voice within you? Jesus' actions also remind us that divine authority is not about control, but about empowerment. He empowers his followers to act in alignment with God's heart, to make choices that honor life, to extend mercy even when it challenges cultural norms. Healing on the Sabbath was more than a miracle. It was a lesson in obedience to God's Spirit, not merely his letter. Through this simple yet profound act, Jesus teaches a principle that transcends time. People matter more than procedures. Love matters more than law. Compassion matters more than conformity. Mercy matters more than judgment. Life matters more than rules. This is the essence of the Sabbath, the essence of faith, the essence of walking with Jesus. The reaction of the Pharisees is also instructive. Resistance to change, adherence to tradition, fear of losing control. These are human tendencies that remain. But Jesus demonstrates courage, conviction, and clarity. He stands firm, not in defiance for the sake of rebellion, but in obedience to a higher law, the law of love. Let this story speak to your heart. Let it challenge the way you perceive authority, the way you follow rules, the way you respond to human need. Let it inspire you to act, even when doing what is right might unsettle others. Let it remind you that God's heart is always aligned with life, restoration, and mercy. The healing of the man with the withered hand is not just a historical event. It is a living lesson for every person today. It calls us to be attentive to those in pain, to act courageously for justice and mercy, and to understand that God's commands are fulfilled in love, not in rigidity. Thank you for watching this video. If this message touched your heart, please like, follow the channel, and share this video with others. Discover the full teaching to understand the profound lessons of mercy, faith, and obedience in the context of the Sabbath. Let Jesus' example guide your actions and inspire your life today.